I am woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman? That's me, Maya Angelou. Welcome to this segment of the Afrocentrist podcast, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from across the globe, sharing their stories and how they are impacting their world. Coming to you every Wednesday, 4 p.m. GST. Of course, with your favorite show host, the energetic EJ. So make it a date with me every Wednesday. The Afrocentrist Podcast, proudly African. Hi, and welcome to today's episode of the Afrocentrist Podcast. I am Ejiro Osakede, aka Be Energetic EJ, and I'm delighted to be here one more time. And especially on this segment, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from across the world, sharing their stories and especially how they are impacting their world. And today on the show, I'll be speaking to a young woman all the way from Ghana. This woman is a young lady who loves God and loves to share Him with others, according to her. She is the founder of SatisfiedByLove, a community focused on loving God and stepping into greater levels of personal growth. She's a YouTuber and an entrepreneur. Stock Up, My Prayers for My Future Husband is her first book series, Stock Up. And she's going to be telling us all about that and how she's currently impacting her world today. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or a bottle of water, if that is what works for you. And let's dive into the story of Keziah Amoyaw, all the way from Ghana. All right, guys, welcome back. As you can see, my guest is here. And I'm just so excited because, at the point of this, she's actually going out of her comfort zone to make this happen. So thank you so much, Keziah. How are you doing?
You're welcome. I'm very well, thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for making it down. Awesome. So, like I always start this segment, I would love, for my audience to meet you. And so, but I know I've said a little bit about your profile, but it's always nice to hear from you directly, like, who is Keziah Amoyaw, from your mouth? Who are you?
Okay, so I'll start by saying I'm Ghanian, because I think a lot of your audience are Nigerians, so that if they hear any different accents, they can understand.
Oh, my audience is global, so it's fine. It's expected.
Thank you. That's good. So I'm Keziah. Currently, I'm a YouTuber. We speak about faith, marriage. I speak about faith, personal development, and money. These three. And
you say money or marriage?
Money.
Money. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm an author. I self-published a book, Stock Up Prayers for My Future Husband. I self-published it this year. So I'm a new author. I'm still finding my feet in that area. I am a lover. I'm a God lover. I'm a God bestie. Like a God lover.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I think we all have spots there.
I love people. Come again.
I think we all have a spot there, like God's babies.
Yeah.
We all have a spot.
And I really like people who know that they are God's last baby, God's daughter, because it comes with another level of confidence, another level of happiness.
Absolutely.
It's
priceless.
Yeah.
It's priceless. Awesome. I love it. YouTuber, you are a God lover, and you are an author. So I'll start with, why did you choose Stock Up, Prayer for Your Future Husband?
Why I chose the title or why I wrote the book?
So both. So I guess the title talks about praying for your future husband. Like, what inspired it?
Okay. So for my book in particular, I think it had been dawning on me. We prepare for a lot of things. We prepare for our exam, we prepare for so many things. And the level of preparation we give to each thing depends on how serious we think it is, how great it is and how afraid we are. But I realized that nobody really, there's nothing. There's very little preparation when it comes to marriage. It's either your marriage counseling or you sort yourself by watching things on social media, watching people that you think you can trust. And so that's the only preparation. And lots of times we hear, oh, pray for your future husband, pray into your marriage. But like, what are you supposed to pray about? Because it's not going to be easy for you to sit and get all the ideas in the world. If there was a guide, if there was something you could relate to, if there was something you could build on, something that has already been worked on that you could build on, it makes everything easier. So I decided to write the book, but I was like, oh, maybe later in life, I mean, I'm sure if you've written a book before, you may have felt like, oh, I'm not ready to write the book. I'll write it later.
Mm-hmm.
But things is like God wouldn't allow me to push it forward. God wouldn't allow me. There's so many people that helped me. Trust me, my friends. I just told a few of my friends, like, why not? Go ahead and write it. I told my coach in EMS. And she's like, Keziah, why are you not writing the book? I'm like, oh, when I'm a bit older, like when I go. And she's like, oh no, will the prayers work because I wrote it? Or the prayers will work because God answers prayers? I'm like, please, just I'll write it. I beg, I'll write it. Like that question really struck me. And there are a couple of people in my corner in my life that actually pushed me as well. So oh, the book is good. So far as I'm praying to God and I'm not just saying anything, I'm documenting prayers that can help people my age, people that are older who are still not married, anybody who actually wants to get married. I should go ahead. So I did, and we have the book. I think I have a copy here. Let me see what it looks like. So this is
nice.
Stock
I
Up.
love it.
How the name came about is really funny. I was contemplating with my friend. Stock Up is actually a series of books. So it's like a series of books for a young woman. Okay, so there's prayers for my husband, prayers for my children, prayers for my business, but this is the only published copy. And this is the only one that's out. So I wanted a title that would cover everything because I didn't want all the titles to be different. And we just kept thinking and laughing. When Stock Up came up, we actually threw it. We actually like, oh no, it was funny.
Discarded.
The whole year we just discarded it. The whole idea was you're building. So you're building up prayer. So if you can tell from the cover, it's like bricks that are being laid. Yeah, so you're stocking up. We just discarded it and there was nothing else coming. So we just kept thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's actually a good idea. When we mentioned it, we were laughing because they're like, oh, we're just playing, but God being God.
That was the one that stuck.
Yeah. So that's Stock Up.
Awesome.
It has 31 days of prayers. It breaks it down. It's divided into like 8 sections of his life. So you're not necessarily praying for a man. You're praying about him. How do I explain? You're not praying to get a man. Let me say it that way. You're praying for his life. So there are sections you pray for his relationship with God. That has like 4 days. You pray for his relationship with you, his role as a husband to you. That has, I think, also 4 days. His role as a father, that has 4 days. His relationship with other people, his business, his career, his purpose, and general prayers, his health, wisdom. We pray different things, and there's a particular day that's declarations here. So
awesome. I love it.
We are not just praying that God will bring a man into your life. You're praying that the man God brings is blessed. His hands are blessed. He knows how to be a husband. Because there's a lot of work. It is.
And I love it because I feel like a lot of young ladies need it. And even like you said, even those who are already in and probably didn't prepare at all, like they didn't have any preparation whatsoever. I think it's never too late to see or to try if, the situation can be salvaged by prayers because actually prayers do work. And so, I think it's a very good one. It reminds me of Stormy O'Martian, the author of
I think
Supernatural Birth. she also has like a couple of series like that for the husband, for the wife, for the children. And yeah, it just reminded me of that when you were speaking. And that's a good one. I love it. I hope I can get a copy soon.
Oh, definitely.
Because
definitely.
prayers is never too much.
It's never waste, yes.
Never too early. It's always, it always comes in handy. And I think that's really, really a deep one. And yeah, I just love the fact that it's also a series. So we can always look forward to, that's a franchise already, girl. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. So you're also a YouTuber. How has that journey been for you?
So my YouTube journey actually started with the blog. And the blog even started with, you see, I think I had gotten into a phase where I was learning a lot of things. And I had come to learn that when you find a teacher or when you see someone that looks like a future, you follow them. So that was actually what I was doing at that time. I had just seen, you see the Linktree links in people's bio. I went through people that I'm like, oh, they all have Linktree links. And the funny thing is, I didn't even bother to check what was there. I'm like, okay, so how do I get one? I Googled, found my way out. I got a link. I'm like, okay, now that I have the Linktree, what do I do with it? So I started looking for things to do because I had lots of things in me, but I wasn't flowing out. I was only given to the people that were around me that could contact me. So I came across a WordPress. I'm like, okay, I could actually blog because I have lots of things to say. So I started blogging. I started blogging 2020. Yeah, somewhere
in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, in the middle of the pandemic. I started blogging, and I think I blogged all through the year. I think I stopped. I took a break, and then I resumed before December.
Okay.
I blogged all through the year. And then I realized it is working, but sometimes it's too much for people to read because people don't really like to read as much. And I also had a lot to say, and I couldn't show my expressions. I couldn't laugh in the text properly. I was looking for another way to express myself where I could relate to people. They could get the humor in what I'm saying. They could see my expressions. So I was contemplating YouTube and podcasts before I settled on YouTube. So I started YouTube this year, May. April, May. I started YouTube around that time. And it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. It's lots of work. I've learned how to edit. Oh my God. I've learned how to schedule videos. Oh, I've learned a lot. I have. And it's been fun. It's fun.
It's been a journey.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I pushed myself really because it was something I was afraid to do. I wanted to do YouTube even before I started the blog, but I was afraid. I kept pushing it off. And I
caught up with you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You face your fears and
absolutely.
So far,
fantastic.
So
Cool. So I'm going to take you back. I know you've told us about you now, but can you just shed a light on your upbringing, your childhood up to where you are today?
Okay. So, I've never thought of this question so much. I live with my parents and 2 siblings. I went to school. Let me see. One thing that I remember and one thing I'm beginning to really appreciate is my upbringing. I think you never really realize how you've been brought up until you listen to other people. Because I hear conversations now. I think I'm a bit more exposed now that I've started working. So I meet a lot of people and we have discussion. And I realized we weren't brought up the same at all. The things people will say and laugh about, I'm like, no, we don't do that. It's so wrong.
It's funny.
It's not funny. But I can't react that way. I have to smile. You have to be professional. And I'm like, no. So it gets me thinking, like almost every day I interact with something else and I'm like, God, thank you for my parents.
Thank God for my parents.
The way I was brought up, because I think you never really realize until you interact with people. I think you never really know. You never really know the difference. You you just assume that everybody thinks the same way or was brought up the same way. I feel like I've been shielded all my life. I feel like
But
God
now
has
looking at it
covered me.
back, you love the shield, right? You appreciate
Oh, I
the
love it.
fact that you were shielded.
I love it. And I'm not referring to only my parents. I feel like God shielded me because I've actually been in places. I didn't see this in the university as much. I mean, I heard some, but I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was shielded. When I got into the university, I was looking for my choir. I joined Chosen Vessels choir. I was looking for the choir because I knew about the choir prior to coming to my university.
What
And for
university
like
did you attend?
University of Ghana.
Ah.
Like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I hadn't found the choir. So I was always in the room. And I can tell you that if I had not found the choir, I wasn't somebody, my morals were uptight. Let me say it that way. I was in SU, so it's not like I was somebody that couldn't be bothered. I had uptight morals. But I know that if I had not found the choir, I'm not sure I would have finished university with I may not have fault entirely, but I would have let my guard down. So many things would become normal for me. I've been shielded by God. He's put me in places where I am busy in his yard, so I don't even see what's going on. I've been shielded by God in my head.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I celebrate that for you, like, because not everybody have that experience. And yeah, it's something to be super, super duper grateful for.
Yeah.
So coming back to now, how would you say that you're currently impacting your world? I mean, I know you have a community, a faith-based community. Tell us about that.
Okay, so my community will be YouTube. I have an email newsletter, and I do a little on Instagram. Instagram is a bit some way from because I have to find a picture to post. But God is helping me because because I realized people don't really like Canva design. They want to see you, and it's not the easiest thing, but God is.
But you have videos on YouTube. You could just give them clips.
That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. But I do not get to take a lot of pictures. Not like I hate taking pictures, but at the end of the day, I don't take a lot of pictures. So posting becomes something. But I'm trying. God is helping me. Amen. My community is still budding. We are still growing together, little by little. I'm seeing lots of people coming in, people sharing with me how they've been blessed, and it really gets me like, wow, it's really cool.
So, do you house this community somewhere yet, or it's still?
No, it's not housed. It's not housed yet. Yes, so it's my newsletter, my YouTube, and then a little for my blog, but most of them are moved to YouTube and then Instagram. So it's not housed necessarily, but yeah. That's my
house when I mean, but virtually though, but like, maybe have like a group on Facebook or on Band or on Telegram or something. Oh, okay. Not yet.
I don't have that yet.
Not yet. Yeah. But then how did you come about the name? Like, so you are the only one who associate with the name of the community, or those people who interact with you already believe that they are part of a community?
Actually, so Satisfied by Love, currently it's looking like people who are just going with me, who are just
following your content.
Yes. So I think at a different stage, when people have learned a lot, the community begins to bud, and then when you get that trigger, then you can hold them better instead of trying to pull the community together that is not together. I don't know if you're really understanding. So after a while, when they've learned a lot and you have made a difference in their lives, you begin to see that a community is budding, then you can grab it. So currently, I haven't named them. My ministry expression is Satisfied by Love. So my YouTube is also called Satisfied by Love. I have an IG page also called Satisfied by Love. That's why I started posting and all. My blog was called Satisfied by Love. So like everything that I'm doing currently is under Satisfied by Love. But then to put my people together, I haven't done much of that. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I feel like it's something that you should consider. If people are already
I
giving you
will.
feedback, they're already engaging with your content, and messaging you about it. I think it's something you should consider because it helps you also, just know your community, and then it can grow from there. You're able to
Yeah.
measure it. Say, okay, I have a growing community of 1,000 women, or 1,000 young women, or 500 young women who, are always, giving back. And then it's I mean, that's how your coaching this thing just starts to express itself. But I know that it's a journey. It's a journey that you also need to, just flow into. But I trust that you got it covered because he's got you covered. So
Exactly.
there's nothing to worry.
Exactly.
There's nothing to worry about. And finally, I'm just going to ask you, like, when, I know you said you've told us about the inspiration behind the book and everything, and it feels like from all you said in your story, one thing that is cutting across is that love and relationship, love for God and, your relationship. What would you say is that holding factor? Do you think, what would you say is that thing that pulled you into that space? Was there any incident in your life, or something that made you feel like this is the area where God is calling you?
I think it will be me observing the patterns in my life, because for a long time people kept coming to me for relationship advice, and currently I'm still running away from it. I am currently still running away from it because as much as I believe in relationships, I do. But I feel like sometimes people are losing focus. Like, let me say women, because maybe I interact more with women. And it's like everything has to be about relationship. My love, there's a lot more to life. So I think currently I'm running away from it a bit. And I think it's affecting even the way I speak about my book. But as again, God is helping me. Amen. But people kept coming to me for relationship advice. I'm very young, but people kept coming to me. I'm like, okay. I'll share the wisdom that I have. If it's above me, I will share the resources that I interact with, or somebody that I think can help you. So I've done that for quite a number of people. So I think that observing it and admitting that people do come to me to ask for advice, even not with relationships, they like to share what's going on and hear what I have to say. So I know God has given me a gift of wisdom, but I'm also trying to be very wise about the gift of wisdom because there's so much more to learn. So I would say that really pushed me. And I think I went through a season where I was trying to find myself. I think I didn't know who I was. I felt like I had changed and there was a lot going on. So I took time back. I used to pray a lot. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's going on, God? What's going on? Because you see, maybe when you're growing up, you have a sense that you will be great. You kind of know. I'm sure there are lots of people who already know. It doesn't come, even if it comes to a prophecy, it's not something that surprises you. You're not surprised when somebody says you'll be great. But you're looking around and there's nothing showing. So I had to spend lots of time with God. I had to pray. And I think he started bringing me into the personal development space. It was little by little, but he brought me in, and I understood why I was feeling like it was dark, because until you expand your capacity to even understand where God is taking you and what you are called to do, it'll be difficult for you. It's not like God doesn't care. It's not like God is not giving you the gifts. He has given us everything that pertains to life and godliness, but you need to be able to expand your capacity to receive it. You need to be able to get rid of your negative mindset and your subconscious condition to hold on to what God is calling you to. So that was it for me. It's really enlightening, and I'm like, God, like, how have you been watched that being a Christian separates you entirely from the world? Like, we only want to. It's not like reading your Bible is wrong, but we only, even in reading our Bible, we only see it through the spiritual aspect. We are not able to hold on to things we're learning from the Bible.
Apply to life generally.
Exactly. So like we want to live in another world, and we think that's what makes us Christian. But God is calling us to impact the world, impact the people around us. So there's a lot. It's really enlightening. I just keep thanking God that I got to know this, and I'm still in it because
absolutely, it's a journey. It's a never-ending journey until we transition out of this part of eternity. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Guys, I'm just here listening to young Keziah, and I'm like, I love the dimension here. It's not like, okay, there's this huge thing that she has achieved, but she's just coasting with what she knows that God has laid in her heart for the now. And she's moving by that conviction and impacting our world in the simplest of ways. And I just want to, just plug this in here to, tell anybody who's watching this, especially if you're a young lady, just be inspired by Keziah's story. Her story is still being written. And so you see, it doesn't matter how little impact you're making. The fact that you've taken the first step to come out of your own self to be a blessing to the next person, it is worth, paying attention to. It is worth celebrating, even in the littlest of ways. And that is one of my goals, right? To shed light on the simple things and also the gigantic ones, right? Like, she has this foundation, she has this business that is booming. But also here's Keziah is like, hey, I just noticed that people keep coming to me for advice. Okay, let me do it. And let me put a structure around it. And then she built content around it on her YouTube channel, on her email list, on Instagram. And now there are more young ladies who are looking up to her and saying, okay, if she's getting it right somewhere, I can also do it. And I believe that that's impact in its own. And this is why I have this segment on the Afrocentrist podcast to talk about the woman, her story and her impact. And, I'm just so delighted to have shared this stage with Keziah today. Thank God for your parents and thank God for God, who shielded you. Allowed you to go through that journey without any, very dramatic, upbringing and all of that. And it's just okay for us to also know that not everybody on the road, not everybody that we know has a very dramatic lifestyle, like, okay, from pain to something. No, sometimes your life can be like very well curated and you still make impact. So it's not always from pain. Sometimes it's also from just, purpose and just, a hunger to be a blessing to others. So thank you so much one more time, Keziah, for being here on the show today. If people wanted to connect with you, there's a young lady watching you and saying, okay, I like the way she sounds. I want to check out her YouTube channel to see what she's talking about. How can they connect with you?
Okay, so if you want to connect with me, you can follow me on Instagram at Keziah Amoyaw. I'm sure I'll share the link with
absolutely. I'm going to have a link. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have a links to her YouTube channel, her Instagram handle, and connected to the description of this video, also of the audio of this podcast. And you're able to connect with her and ask her all the questions you want to ask about love, about prayers, about being a young lady and just living life based on what
my channel is Satisfied by Love, one word, Satisfied by Love. I'm sure I should share it. If you want a copy of my book, there are copies on Amazon. You can get a copy on Amazon, ebook and paperback. You can get a copy on Okada Books, the ebooks on Okada Books. Awesome. If you're in Ghana, you can send me a DM. And we are coming to Nigeria soon.
Hey.
Nigeria. Nigeria.
Awesome. All right, no problem. So I'm going to give. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to leave all the links to her book, so you can get a copy of it and stock up. Okay, it's very important.
Actually, yeah.
All right, it's like come your way again with yet another, story, another woman sharing her story and her impact. It is I, Ejiro Osakede, saying have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.
Bye.